forget to subscribe.
Good morning. So it's about the middle of May, so I thought I'd get my act together and do another video update. Today I'm going to be working in the apple orchard. I'll just give you an idea about what stage it's at, and then I'll get to work. So as you can see, let's see if I can get in close here. The blossoms are almost all gone. These are the larger trees, and these are Shiano Gold. As I mentioned before, it's kind of like a golden delicious. A little bit of flowers left on them, maybe about 20% left. But the other trees, the other variety, Akibai, they're pretty much all gone. So that's kind of like we're entering the next stage. So I'll give you an idea of what I'm doing today and what I've been doing for the past week and a half or so. Okay, so I'm working over here right now. This row by the street here, we finished all of that, and so now I'm working on the second row. Now the apple flowers come in clusters. Here's one here. The number sometimes varies, but usually it's about 5 with one at the center. Now there's a couple different ways of doing it. Some people will thin but leave 2, and 2 is kind of like one's kind of a backup instead of one goes wrong. But these trees had some issues last year, so basically what we're doing is we're thinning down to 1 like that. So sometimes I use my fingers, sometimes I use a pair of scissors. It just depends on the situation, and also if my fingers get like numb or too much pain after doing it all day, I'll just switch to the scissors. So that's what I'm going to do here for a couple hours. Let's see, one tree, let me see if I can go a little wider here. So a tree about this size takes about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the amount of buds that are on it, that need to be picked, or I guess they're baby apples at that point. These bigger trees are obviously a different story, so you're looking at at least 2 hours just to do one. We're about halfway there. My wife is working in our local organic farm, so she's working for actual money, and I'm working for the potential money for when we actually harvest and sell the apples. So that's what I'm going to do this morning, and I'll do this video in 3 parts. After I leave here, I'll stop over at the big field and give you an update, and then finally I'll give you an update on our main field at our house. All right, that's it for now. I'll have time to get to work. Okay, so I'm back at the house. Got our stray cat visitor coming. She comes all the time. And I'll just do a short update on our chaos here. So everything's growing. The bugs are waking up. So we have a few natural solutions for the bug problems. So we're gonna have to start using those natural solutions soon. Everything in this field's all organic, and I guess it looks that way. Let's take a look. There's some spring onions that are bolting. We'll harvest those soon. The daikon are looking giant. Cabbage over there is looking pretty good. My grape vines have woken up. They already got flowers on them, so we'll get more grapes this year. These sunflowers here are volunteers. We didn't plant them, they just popped up. This is one of my favorites. It's hard to see in the chaos of the hugel bed, but right there, those are Uzbekistan melons. They're kind of shaped like a torpedo, so I really like it. And over here, this trellis is for a special kind of Italian zucchini that that needs a trellis, and it's there. There's one of them. Another one came. I planted some more seeds, but they didn't come, so I'll have to replant. These are our 2 fig trees. This one is called a brown turkey, and it's pretty cold hardy, so it was fine. This one here is a Dauphine, which is less cold hardy, so it dies back every year. But then there's new growth every year. So I'm hoping once the root system gets a little more established, it can survive, because I know other people in our neighborhood have it, so I don't know why this particular one keeps dying back. These are the first round of figs. I think it's called the Brabus or something like that. And these ones you don't eat, so you cut them off, and then the second round are the ones that you eat. All right. This big trellis here is for my black eyed peas that I love. They're planted, but they haven't started yet. These are the different zucchini rows. I alternate, so I do a seedling, then I do a seed, then a seedling, then a seed, so we can kind of stagger the harvest. But again, looking pretty good. So we got 2 rows so far of zucchini and summer squash. We're gonna have 3 in total. Not sure what I'm doing with this one here. This right here, these are our favorite potatoes. They're called Inca Mezame. They're really good for everything. They're starchy potatoes. They're good for French fries. They're really pretty potatoes too. These square ones here are melon mounds. Got 2 watermelon and then 2 Japanese melons. I forget what they're called. And then these are, again, one of my favorites. They've only been in the ground about a week. The Roma tomatoes, and I think they're going to do really well. They've only been in the ground about a week, but there's already some new growth, and they're nice and green and look pretty nice. Still got some empty rows. I'll show you our red onions. We're gonna harvest these soon, but as you can, let me get it out of here. But as you can see, they look pretty nice. Okay, so that's about it for today. I gotta get going. These are the beets. They look really good. And then over here, I'll do one last thing. There we go. Our strawberries are kicking out. Okay, I gotta go take my son to a soccer competition. I'll do another update about the big field in a few minutes, or after I edit this video. All right, bye-bye. So I want to finally get this video done. March is almost over, and I've just been so busy. It's funny, I kept thinking about like YouTube farmers who make videos about farming and how to farm the best. I just keep thinking, like, I'm not sure how they can make videos and do the farming, because doing the farming is taking all of my time. Okay, so this is the biggest headache so far. As you can see, the wind just keeps ripping the plastic mulch cover off. This one I fixed 3 times, and it looks like it needs to be done again, but the wind's just so strong today, I can't do it alone. So I have to wait until my wife's off work. Definitely frustrating. So what happens is like, we use the plastic mulch and then we mound up the dirt to keep the mulch down. It's a pretty standard way of doing it. Most farmers here do it this way. The problem is we don't have a lot of ground cover or anything, so the dirt, which is really clay-like, once it dries, it just sort of falls apart. so it doesn't have any weight um, to keep the mulch down. So we got to figure out something better than this for next year. Um, Hopefully, as we make soil improvements, it'll get a little bit easier. But anyway, enough of the whinging. I'll just go ahead and I'll give you a brief update. So this is our friend Mikako, and she's growing daikon and regular Japanese radish, and then purple daikon. And she's also growing some peanuts, and we're all growing potatoes. Um, I'm just admiring Mikako-san's work. So she has a lot of bamboo at her house. So basically, she cuts the bamboo in half and makes like a stake, drives the stake in, and then puts the bamboo strips over uh, to make basically hoops that you would normally have to buy. And it looks pretty good, I think. The wind is so strong. Again, she's using all the big rocks we can find to try and keep the netting on. And even then, about once a week, we have to come out, and the wind is so strong it pulls the netting off, and we have to kind of replace it. It's getting a little wild again. It's time to get out the machinery and do what we got to do. Um, these are some special green onions. Some of them are bolting already, which is a little bit weird. It's a different technique for a different style. Basically, you grow them long term and they get really big in this trench, and as they grow you mound it up. In the end result is like really big negi or green onion, spring onion. It's often used for like soups and stuff. This is my revenge from last year. I tried it but didn't go so well. These are called quail beans, which is kind of like a marbled colored bean. I got some last year, but most of the plants didn't develop. But this year they look pretty good. I got that whole row. They're looking pretty good. And then just a little bit over here, and then I'll get back to work and stop with this. As you can see, all these weeds here. Let me see. This is soba, buckwheat. And so this field used to be used for buckwheat, so of course we have all these buckwheat everywhere. The good news is as you can see, it pulls out of the ground real easily. So I've just been pulling it out and dropping it down, kind of like chop and drop. It's finally warm enough that we could get the sweet potatoes in the ground. So we've started. We got 4 different varieties here. Where we live, the starters for sweet potatoes are pretty expensive. So we're doing a pretty common technique. What we do is we plant them in the ground, and then eventually when they get healthy enough, they'll start sending out shoots, and there'll be little like roots that come out like runners. And so then what you do is you trim them off, and then you plant those in the ground. So eventually we're gonna fill up all the rows with that. They have a pretty long season. Like they'll keep growing until it starts to freeze. All right, just a few other things. These are my peppers. I'm quite behind where I wanted to be. As you can see, I don't even have a row yet. My original plan was to start a bunch from seed. I had some special like heirloom seeds, but I just really had trouble getting the germination, especially with the cold nights. These right up in the front, these are some Italian sweet peppers. I love them, and it looks like they're going to be doing all right. And the rest is like a combination of various sweet peppers. Again, this technique of the bamboo, just what some local people do, so I started doing it too. It's kind of like staking, but you don't have to tie it up. So anyways, that's that. These are butternut squash that we grew last year. So these are our seeds, and we got about I think about 15 or so, and all the seeds germinated except for like 1 or 2. Plants look a little small but look pretty healthy. And then So looks like I'm almost out of memory, so I better hurry up and bring this to a conclusion. This is today. Looks about the same, but these are Japanese pumpkins. I had a little bit of trouble getting seeds to germinate, but I did manage to get 11 of them. So probably what I'll do is I'll also direct sow for the rest of the row. I'm hoping that, like, the stuff that grows low, like the pumpkins and the butternut squash, won't be so affected by the wind, but who knows. Anyways, I'll bring it to an end before my memory is gone. Thanks for listening. Sorry for the wait. Stay tuned for the next update in 6 months. So I'm not sure. All right, bye bye.